Editing is just one big creative puzzle with an infinite number of outcomes. So there's really no surprise that it comes with its, creative blocks. So last week I posted a 20-minute short film about my dog taking my Labrador Retriever to her origins to swim in the Labrador Sea off the coast of Newfoundland. And it was an absolute beast to edit. Had its own, editing roadblocks I encountered. So I figured I'd take the time today to talk about how to push through those roadblocks when you do encounter them, and hopefully it helps you in a future video. This video is sponsored by Artlist. So the first tip, it's the one that you probably didn't want to hear when you clicked on this video, because it's the hardest and most truthful one to swallow. And I promise that there's more reactive tips after this one, but have to talk about this one. It's very proactive. It's pre-production. It's the saving grace of an edit. The more you roadmap, the more you storyboard, the more you do in pre-production, the smoother the editing process will be for you when you get down to it. You'll shoot with purpose, you'll get closer to what you want to get, and you'll just get a better video at the end of the day. So that being said, no shoot goes as planned. Even if you do the world's most amount of pre-production, you have a great plan, that might all fall apart, or there's gonna inherently be things that are different when you show up to shoot. First reactive tip, filmmaking is hard. It requires a ton of creative focus and attention. It's one of those things that when you do find yourself focused and you're finding a flow, it's one of those things where time just freaking disappears and 5 hours go by without you even noticing, because you're just in it. You need to clear everything. Before I start an edit, I clear my mind, my space, whatever is on my computer, put the phone away, clear everything. The work that it takes to edit is such hard work, your brain doesn't want to do that, so you have to eliminate all of that and make it the only option for your brain to focus on. I go into Adobe Premiere and before I start a project, I clear the cache, because that tends to speed up my editing workflow in Premiere. And I know if I have any moment where it's taking too long to render or something slowed down, I know I'm gonna take my attention to my phone, or I'm gonna go on the internet. And then I also make sure that I have all the assets that I needed from the internet, music, sound effects. I make sure I have most of that already collected and downloaded. Months leading up to even shooting this project in pre-production, when I'm working on other projects, I'm sifting through Artlist trying to find the perfect music for that project. I'm stumbling across other music that I'm like, oh, this would be really great for Labrador, or whatever specific project you're working on that is coming down the line in the future. And what you can do is put all those into a collection. I started a collection called Labrador. So months later, when I got into the edit, I had all this pre-collected music that was powerful and focused. So when it came down to getting into the edit, I already had all that music that I could just instantly download from my collection on Artlist. And I didn't have to spend time outside of my timeline on the internet with loads of distractions. Next tip is to get a rough structure going. Segment by segment, start piecing things together. It doesn't need to be in chronological order right away. It doesn't need to be polished right away. Just work on segments and get that structure going. Once you have that rough structure in place, you can start setting mini goals for yourself per editing session. Going into this session that you have, you can set your goal to get done these 2 segments, your fun montage traveling around, and then your segment planning the trip. The easiest way for me to start on an individual segment is to use music to find the general tone and pace of what that segment is gonna be and feel like. If you're looking for music to inspire your next project, I have my own little artist spotlight. That's a curated playlist by me of some of my favorite music that I've used in previous projects and music that I plan on using for future projects, all curated into one playlist on Artlist. Artlist is today's video sponsor and a platform that I've been using to get all my music and sound effects for pretty much all of my projects this past year. I've really never not found exactly what I need to find with their massive library of super high quality assets. The film that I posted last week, all the score and background music is from Artlist, as long as a lot of the sound design. I pulled sound effects from Artlist to sound design scenes where I had no audio, but you would never know because I was able to find good ambience, good Foley. you're interested in checking out Artlist, there's a link in my description below for you where you get 2 months free off an annual subscription when you sign up. So say you're staying focused, you did a bunch of pre-production and planning previously, but you're still finding yourself spinning your wheels. This is by far the most frustrating thing that could happen during your editing, and it inevitably happens on every single project I've ever edited. If you find yourself continually just playing back what you edited and you don't know what to do and you're just thinking, oh man, this thing sucks, where do I go next? You need to just step away from it. Sometimes your brain just needs a break. You're not being lazy, you're not working hard. Sometimes you just need to step away for the day. Get away from your computer, go outside, be with your family, just be a human being. Let your brain just subconsciously process and percolate on that edit, you know, while you're sleeping or doing other things. Get in there with fresh eyes the next day, and I guarantee when you start on your goals for the day, that segment or whatever it is your goal for the editing session is, it's gonna go a lot smoother for you. Next, just don't be afraid to shoot what I like to call patch shots. If you're looking at your scene, you're looking at your timeline, and you're like, damn, I wish I just had like a little more B-roll or a couple shots to just cover up this segment of the interview or whatever it is. Just go out and shoot it. Nothing's stopping you. If you can do it, shoot it. For example, the segment of the short film, there's a little scene where I'm talking about the logistics and how simple I realized it was for us to get to Newfoundland. And I didn't have any footage that covered that. So I went out to this REI and I bought a map of Canada, shot a couple tight B-roll shots of it, and it fit great in there, and I think it's like a nice little addition to the film. I find that a lot of macro and tight shots work really well for patch shots. But what we can also do is maybe you use an establishing shots or whatever it is. Maybe you can go on an Artlist and pull stock footage of maybe like a drone shot to cover something. I don't know, I'm just spitballing some ideas here for you. So the last tip that I wanna leave you with is actually what I started with. It's a bit more philosophical, so bear with me here. Like I said, video editing is basically just putting together this giant creative story puzzle with an infinite number of potential outcomes. And therefore, by definition, there should be an infinite number of right or correct outcomes for your edit. Mentally, I think that helps alleviate the pressure a bit. Sometimes you need to just, go with your gut feeling, follow the way that the edit is naturally unfolding. Maybe it's not what you initially planned for it to be, but that doesn't mean that it's not right. I also always say at the end of the day, a finished posted project is always going to be a heck of a lot better than a perfect, unfinished, not posted video that no one's ever seen. Just remember, there's an infinite number of correct ways for your edit to come out. It's not gonna be perfect, it never will be. So allow me to take this little pressure that's just chilling on your shoulder and push that away for you. I hope I helped you in some way today. Again, check out our sponsor, Artlist, if you're looking for a place to get, great music, great sound effects, footage, all types of assets for your future projects. It's great stuff. Yeah, thanks for watching. I love you.